I want to bring you into Canvas and talk a little bit about how you can work from your modules and what you can start doing in your modules. So we're going to click on one of my sandbox courses, and we're going to kind of go into the module view first. Now I've created a shell for a practice question. I'm going to kind of show you what I did with that. If I want to create assignments, I could go into assignments and start from there. But I think it makes a lot more sense, because if you're going to want to put it in places, if you're going to build out your modules, then you want to go to your module first and then start working from the modules and building those out, almost like outlines, and then going into them and filling them in, kind of like what we're going to do today. And so you can click this plus sign and you can say, you know what, I want to create any one of these kinds of things here. We're going to talk about assignments specifically today, and I've already created mine. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of edit the assignment that I've got here. Once you click the assignment, right, if you want to click assignment here, you could click new assignment and it could give you a lot of different things like this. You can call it something, but we're going to go ahead, since I've already added it, we're going to go ahead and edit it from here. So I'm going to click on this. If you had opened it up, it would automatically come to this view, and I'm going to unpublish it for a minute, and then we're going to go ahead, I'm going to edit this. Now, what I've done is I titled it, and when you're in the module view, you're going to go ahead, you're going to get this view right here. You're going to title it in that, and it's going to bring you right into this section. I went out and on a Google Doc, I copied and pasted this FRQ from a Google Doc that I had, and you can see that literally I copy and pasted it, and it pasted in exactly as I had typed it out. With the image and everything, that image at the bottom here. I cleaned it up a little bit, but it didn't have to do any kind of thing too much to get it to look just like this. One thing I want to do is I can assign point values. I can assign it to the group. In this case, it's the daily assignments. I created these categories because that's what my tests, my grade categories are going to be like. So I'm going to put them in like this. And then you can choose to display this as a percentage or as points or whatever you want to do. I think the students mostly probably going to see that as a percentage, so I went ahead and put it that way. I want my students to be able to edit a document right here in Canvas and type it all up, or maybe we can talk about what happens if they want to do it on paper and then submit their own handwriting from there. And of course, I can go ahead and submit and click those file uploads, text entry. Those are the two I'm going to do. You could do a lot of things. Now I've already been playing around with this. I'm sorry. So it says some students have already submitted this. Now you won't see that when you first start off. Okay, and I've assigned it to everyone. You could put a due date and all this other stuff, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to click save. And what that does is it's ready to go. Now make sure that if you are ready for it to go live, if you're ready for your students to see it, you can click publish. It'll say unpublished on yours. But if we go back to the module view, you'll see here if this is unpublished, doesn't matter how many things you have published in your module. You'll have to actually publish the module itself to get this so that students can see it. Okay. One of the ways that I can check, we can go back to our home page. And you may have a lot of different things for your homepage. What I'm looking for is I want to be able to do my student view, right? So I'm going to expand this out. And here you can see student view. I'm going to click that. And this is going to allow me to have a view of what the students would see this kind of situation looking like, right? So it's got the assignment that I've posted. We're going to go ahead and I've told them that, hey, you've got a quantitative data assignment. They can click on my modules at the bottom because I've got that linked, and they can click on their FRQ practice assignment and it's going to pop up. Of course, this is exactly like you typed it out to be. If you create a rubric, of course, you'll see that here. More on rubrics later. We're going to click submit assignment, and we're going to talk about the two things: file upload and text entry. I can choose my file if I've saved it in a different file type, or I can click the text entry, and it's going to bring up the rich text editor, just like we use. They're going to have the opportunity to enter it just like that. And of course, mine's, if I expand my window out, they'll be able to see a lot more of that in the window here, just like we do. And so they can type it right in. If it's just something they can type up, no big deal. If it is something they want to upload, like a file, maybe they want to do this on paper and they could submit it later, you can do it that way as well. I'm going to show you in just a second how you can go to the mobile app and submit using your camera and maybe a document scanner. I want to show you how to complete an assignment using the standard or the Canvas app for students. So I've logged in as a student in my course. I'm going to click on it. I could see my assignment. I go by clicking assignments, and I can see the assignments that I've located. But I'm going to go in through my modules, and I can only see the modules here that my teacher has published. So I'm going to click on the quantitative one and click on the FRQ practice. Now I've already submitted this at once, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Right? So we can go down here. We can see the app or the quiz or the assignment that I've made up. If I want to resubmit an assignment or submit it for the first time, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to click on Submit Assignment, and it's going to ask me how do I want to do this. And I'm going to choose File Upload. Now, it's asking me how do I want to pick my file. Now, I've completed this on paper, so I could click my camera, and I could go up and I could take a photograph of my document, but you can see here that you've got shadows, and sometimes students really don't pay attention to the lighting, and so this could be a bad idea. So I want to show you a better way to do it. So what I'm going to do is cancel that, and I'm going to choose to go over into my notes. In the notes, you see the camera, little camera icon at the bottom. If you click the camera, it's going to ask you, would you like to scan your documents, right? So I'm clicking Scan Documents, and it's going to hold that up, and if you're in a good lighting, it will try to find that document, and sometimes it won't do it. So if it's not perfect, click your photograph, and it's going to say, hey, here's what you took a picture of. Put the corners down where you want them to be. A lot of the times, if you're in a good lighting scenario, it will automatically know exactly what you want to take a photo of, and it'll do a good job of picking that out. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got all of the different text on there. I'm going to click Keep Scan. It'll give you a little bit of a preview of it, and it'll save it. Now, if I have multiple pages, I could keep doing that and keep scanning, but I'm going to click Save, and it gives me a view. I can look at it to make sure it looks good. It's a lot clearer. There's no shadows. It does a good job. I'm going to click the little box. I want to save this somewhere, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to Save File, and I'm going to choose Save It on my phone, or I could save it to anywhere else. I'm just going to keep it on my phone for now, and we'll click Save. Going back to my submission, I'm going to click Files this time. I'm going to click on the document that I just submitted, or I just took a picture of, and I'm going to click Submit. It'll tell me the submission has been successful. It'll also give me a notification that my assignment has been submitted. And that's as easy as it gets, right? The student can do a handwritten document, and they can turn that in just as easy as they can turn in a document that they've typed up. Hope this helps. In math, this is definitely going to be a great thing for us.